Buonasera, good evening. Good evening. Would you please take a seat? Grazie. Volete sedervi? Per chi non mi conosce, io sono Aldo Cernezzi, sono direttore della rivista Vola Vela, pilota di Aliante, direttore di gara, faccio anche competizioni. For those who have not met me before, I'm the editor of the Italian magazine. Aldo Cernezzi is my name. I'm a competition pilot in gliders. I'm also a competition director. And I'm here as moderator of this meeting and of this panel discussion about why there are so few women in our aviation world, both sports aviation, general aviation, and as a profession. Varese is proud to host the 8th edition of the international meeting FLYDONNA, which is organized essentially by Donatella Ricci. Grazie. Thank you very much for your work. Grande Donatella. And I will introduce three persons who are speaking before we start the panel discussion. I will introduce the participants to the panel discussion. I think 8 women with a profession or a sports career in aviation. And every one of them, each one of them will briefly introduce herself and her activity. And then I would like to start what is in fact a discussion, and I would like it to be a celebration. We are here to celebrate women with wings, women in aviation. I would encourage anyone who has something to say about any topics that would emerge during the discussion to please take part. Just raise your hand, and if I don't see you, because we have lots of lights here and no lights to the public, please make yourself noticed, and you will also take part in the discussion. So, my first duty, thank you for being here. I know it's very hot, also for me here, but thank you very much. What's happening? Oh. I would like to introduce to the all of you to the president of this club, the hosting club Adele Orsi, Margherita Quaderni, the president. Grazie, Margot. Thank you very much for hosting this event. And now you have the microphone to address our public.
Okay. Bene, buonasera a tutti. Sono molto felice e orgogliosa e onorata di ospitare in questo club dedicato a una donna fantastica delle Orsi un evento così importante come FLYDONNA. So welcome you all. I'm so proud and honored to host here the 8th edition of this wonderful women meeting, and I think that no better place could have found. It's a club devoted to a woman, a fantastic woman, Adele Orsi, who was my teacher, and I'm a president, I'm a pilot, so I think it's the best place to have this event. So I really hope that we can go home with something achieved more for the women in flight.
Grazie Marco. Thank you very much. Sì, se vuoi stare hai già il tuo posto, ma poi ti chiamiamo dopo. Ok. Second person I would like to invite here for a short speech is the Special Commissioner of the Aero Club Italia, Professor Pierluigi Matera. Thank you very much. The Aero Club Italia is the national air sport control in Italy. È un piacere di rivederti ancora, grazie mille di essere qua. Prego, il microfono è tuo. You have the microphone.
I'm not going to bore you, it's just a greeting, and thank you for the invitation, Margot. Thank you for setting it up, because this is very important. Discussing about those subjects is still nowadays very, very important. I'm sorry for the delay. I'm just flying back from London, so I'm here just for you, you know that, and I couldn't have missed it. And thank you for coming. Let's see to make this something special. If I have 5 minutes later, I'll tell you a couple of new things, facts, and not just words, in order to implement women's role in aviation. So welcome, I'm your guest, but I'm feeling part of the family, and sorry again for the delay. I see that it's quite chill. Fantastic, thank you. I would appreciate it coming from London. Thank you very much, and my greetings to all guests and to the Vice President of the International Federation, all the representatives of the International Federation, and talk to you soon in a few minutes if I have some spare time. Thank you.
Thank you. Grazie mille. Grazie mille. Thank you very much. Before we start the panel discussion, one last word by Álvaro de Orleans Bourbon of the international DFAI, Fédération Aéronautique Internationale. Grazie Álvaro. No, la giacca, poverino, fa caldo. It's so hot here for the jacket. Grazie Álvaro di essere qua. Grazie mille. Prego.
I don't see much, but can I ask anybody to lift their hand which do not understand Italian? One? I'll teach you later. Ok, allora con vostro permesso... No, è perché sennò abuso del vostro tempo ripetendo troppe cose. Margot, grazie per invitarmi qui. Purtroppo sono un ingegnere, il che vuol dire che tenderò di mettere un pochino di quadricola nella problematica. E qual è la problematica? C'è un fatto certo. Metà della popolazione mondiale, quella femminile, vola molto meno, o meglio detto partecipa al volo sportivo, nel caso nostro molto meno, della metà maschile. Visto da così è una tremenda perdita di opportunità, vista da un'altra parte è una terribile perdita di clientela, vista da una terza parte è una forse estrema perdita, la più grande, di capacità negoziale col resto del mondo che del volo sportivo non ne vuol sapere poi tanto. E quindi io penso che dovremmo vedere cosa possiamo fare per recuperare, se c'è da recuperare. E ai fini della conversazione credo che bisogna rispondere a 3 domande. Io purtroppo presenterò solo domande e forse 1 o 2 piccolissime proposte. Una è già avvenuta in seno alla FAI, che voi sapete fatta in commissioni sportive che per ogni specialità si occupano del loro sport. È una struttura centrale alla quale appartengo io, il comitato esecutivo, che essenzialmente è il comitato di amministrazione. Noi lì abbiamo discusso questo, il Presidente mi ha assegnato l'area che si chiama sinteticamente Women in FAI, le donne nella FAI, e io all'ultima riunione ho detto scusate ma non ho ancora risposte ma ho una proposta. E la proposta che credo che è importante è che si è accettato di fare un gruppo di lavoro permanente del comitato esecutivo della FAI per studiare questo tema e perché c'è una tanta scarsa partecipazione delle donne nel volo sportivo. Adesso ci sono almeno 3 domande e questa è la mia maniera di separarle, ma spero che oggi nella discussione ve ne siano magari alcune migliori, ma le domande che io mi pongo sono queste, a cui spero che ci darete risposta. Alle donne forse non piace volare? Oppure alle donne piace molto volare, ma non gli piace così come lo si vola oggi? Oppure al terzo, alle donne piace moltissimo volare, ma gli è terribilmente spiacevole, è difficile, è impedito a loro farlo come lo fanno con gli uomini. Queste 3 domande, sì. Finisco subito. Sto finendo. E queste 3 domande ne hanno 2 ancora. Uno, la parte ricreativa e la parte competitiva sono un insieme. Ai fini di questa domanda delle donne nello sport aeronautico è bene non separarle, perché ciascuno, noi tutti, qualsiasi campione mondiale, comincia nella parte ricreativa, poi come bolle da una coppa di champagne escono fuori, magari ritornano, e dobbiamo decidere se alle donne non piace il volo ricreativo o competitivo in modo separato. E l'ultimo che porta a un tema da forse riflettere: il volo competitivo è fatto di scelte. Nel caso volo a vela che conosciamo noi tutti, è nato con i criteri della durata, e poi sono stati fatti i regolamenti, criteri poi della distanza, era più bravo chi andava più lontano, e per ultimo oggi è il più veloce. Le regole per stabilire chi è il più bravo e i criteri per vedere che cosa è più bravo sono fatti tutti da una commissione sportiva di enorme, assoluta maggioranza maschile. Così che un interrogativo pratico che vorrei sottoporvi a vedere se magari oggi gli dedicate dell'attenzione è: non è forse il caso che quello che gli uomini pensano che sia un criterio di eccellenza per il volo, alle donne non gliene importa per niente e loro avrebbero tutti altri criteri? Perché se così fosse, la proposta è che forse un gruppo di lavoro si dovrebbe creare per vedere che cosa per le donne significa essere bravi nel volo a vela e scoprire che magari è tutta un'altra cosa rispetto a quello degli uomini, che in questo momento it represents the only game in town, è l'unica cosa offerta alle donne che forse non gli piace. Grazie.
Forse vorresti fare una piccola sintesi in inglese di quello che hai detto? Would you like to synthesize in English?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I've spoken about the lack of participation of women in air sports, the fact that this has very bad results. First, we are losing lots of friends, opportunities. From another perspective, we are losing lots of customers. From the most important one, we're losing a formidable negotiation machinery, because at least myself, I think that women are better negotiators than men, with respect to the rest of the world that about air sport does not care so much. So I have 3 questions to synthesize. We should answer, because I do not know myself the answer, and I've been tasked this within FAI. Women maybe don't like to fly sports. Okay, maybe, I do not know. Or women don't like to fly sports the way it's offered today, especially in competition. Or women would like to fly in sports, but for some reason they have obstacles, it's unpleasant, whatever. And then you should look at it and remove these things. And finally, to a practical proposal, the rules for deciding who is the best, which is the whole of the reasons of FAI existence, are made by men. 50 years ago it was duration in flight, then 20 years ago, maybe 30 years, it was distance. Today it is speed. But these are rules made by men. Maybe women have a completely different view of what it means to be excellent in gliding. We have never given them a chance to express themselves, to deal with this. Whereas men have now done this for 50 years and refined, women did not even start. So maybe we should have once a working group, maybe you could form it here today. What is, in view of women, the character of excellence in gliding? What is meant in a woman's mind to be the best in gliding? Maybe it's something very different what men people think is the best in gliding. Thank you.
Grazie, Aldo. Grazie molto. Grazie molto. In fact, this is a club strongly dedicated to sports, and especially to the sport of gliding. And we've had the address of the National Air Sport Control by Pierluigi Matera. We've had an address from the FAI in the person of Álvaro de Orlean, Vice President. It seems maybe it's easier for women to access a career in aviation, a profession, rather than participating in air sports. In any case, this is what we will discuss in the next hour. So I will just call all the ladies which have been invited to take part to the discussion. And starting from our president, Margherita Quaderni. Grazie Margherita. Ci siamo già salutati. Ti prendi tu posto, vai a sederti, grazie. And Diana Ferrero, president of the Federazione Europea Women Pilot, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
but I'm delegate now.
Delegate,
I just
okay.
came back.
Delegate of the
Swiss delegate for European Women Pilot.
Swiss delegate for European Women Pilots Federation. Please take, I would say, the last seat. Thank you. Then we have Liz Sparrow. Liz Sparrow from the UK, from England. Many times world female gliding champion, and I think...
Not champion, but qualified.
Okay, and you were first in the international ranking, I think, female international ranking. Congratulations. You would like to have a seat close to Margherita? Margot, siediti pure. And then I'm introducing Nadia Wafa. Is this the way to pronounce your name? Nadia Wafa. You are a paraglider pilot. Nice to meet you. Please sit here. A very young paraglider pilot from Malaysia, seeking a career in the sport. And Caterina Manzini, per favore. Caterina Manzini. Piacere. Ti puoi sedere vicino a Liz Sparrow, intanto provo a presentarti brevemente, che mi hanno spostato tutti i fogli. Pilota acrobatica, aerobatic pilot, and you usually fly a CAP-10 airplane. And then we have Carolina Dell'Onte. Carolina Dell'Onte. Piacere di conoscerti, grazie di essere qua. Thank you for being here. And I think you are a commercial pilot, and you wrote a book, Your Heart at Zero Gravity?
My heart at zero gravity.
Your Heart at Zero Gravity. Congratulations, then we will speak about it. And then I see Carla Angelucci. Captain Carla Angelucci from the Aeronautica Militare, grazie di essere venuta. Captain Carla Angelucci has so many qualifications, I cannot read them all. And then we have Donatella Ricci. Slowly coming up. Lascio alle donne colleghe di aiutarla. Grazie di essere qui, ce la fai? Ok, grazie mille. Donatella Ricci detiene un record mondiale di quota in autogiro. Donatella Ricci is the holder of a world record for altitude in gyrocopters. So, it's now time for each one of you to... Dimmi Margot, non ti sento. Il video della Susanne, ok? Allora Marco, puoi mandare il video di Susanne Schödel. We are now showing you a video.
Dear friends of gliding and of course of all these other magnificent air sports that there are, and especially dear women colleagues in flying. And thank you very much for inviting me to this year's FLYDONNA meeting in Varese in Italy. And I'm really, really very sorry that I cannot come, but as FAI Secretary General, I have to travel a lot, and it was just not possible to fit it into the schedule. But my heart is with you, and I wish you a lot of good discussions and conversations about women in flying, women in air sports, women in aviation, and that you are building even stronger the network of women in flying. There's one message that I would like to bring across for you. It's important to believe in your passion that you have for air sports, and don't get demotivated by external conditions. It's first of all you as a person who wants to fly and who likes to be in the sky, and that's what you should pursue. And there will always be people that you can find who will support you and who will open the doors for you to get into the sky and to enjoy your dream of flying. So keep positive, keep a good friendship and network within the women in air sports and aviation, but also, of course, with everyone who is flying, and liaise with those people who support your path in flying. I wish you all the best and always happy landings.
Grazie. I must say, I really feel big support to this event from the institutions and the sporting institutions especially. I think next thing is the video from Florenza De Bernardi, isn't it? Marco? No? Ok, allora viene Margherita. Margherita adesso presenta la sua attività sportiva. Ti serve? Mi prendo questa? Sei pronta?
I have to say that gliding has absolutely been my life. My father was a glider pilot, and I was born and grown in airfields, so it was not difficult for me to find this passion. And Adele, Orsi, I had a great opportunity to know Adele in Rieti, and she was my teacher. And then luckily I was very lucky to fly with her a lot of times, but then I was pregnant and then she was ill, so we didn't do what we had planned for. And I think that my passion grew, and I was so much involved until I went to my first European competition, women competition. This is the sky that we see when we fly. My first international competition was in Preveza, and when I went there, I understood that there was a female word that was flying. In Italy, I was with Adele and with Angela Fergnani, and that was it. So I thought that also in Italy, there could have been a women group that could participate to competitions. And I had also the opportunity to meet Gilles van den Broek, that had written, and I published a book about the history of women in flight. As soon as I was in this contest of women participation, I thought that I had to do something in Italy, and so I started looking for other people, other women that had my same passion and could share my same passion in order to grow our team when we went. And that's why I started with this group, which is the Fly Pink group, where we are now more than 50. Not all of us like competitions, not all of us like long flights, but all of us share the same passion for flight. And I think that this is what we have to work on. Last year, I was invited to represent FAI at the International Forum in Lausanne to speak about the FAI project, Women with Wings. And when I decided together with Donatella to have, to organize this meeting here, I thought that it would have been the right place where to organize a meeting in order to develop and to see what can be done to involve more women. So I really want to thank Alvaro for the suggestions he gave us at the beginning, and I am sure that we will think of it and we will try to understand why not so many women are flying, and I'm sure that we will find many, many more. what to say. I prefer living in the air than on the ground. And this is for sure clear. And you have seen in these pictures how many we have become, and we have tried to organize a Fly Pink Cup competition among women in Italy in order to involve more women. But as Alvaro was saying, not everyone likes competitions. I'm fond of competitions, but I understand that this is not something that you can oblige people to do. So I really hope that through this discussion we can go out of this hangar with clearer ideas. Thank you.
Thank you, Margot. Grazie. Grazie mille, Margot. Sì, l'iniziativa Fly Pink ha rivoluzionato il volo a vela femminile in Italia. The Fly Pink initiative has revolutionized gliding in Italy. Next speaker is Diana Ferrero. With pictures? Dimmi? Sì, sì. Marco, va bene la scaletta? Abbiamo prima il video di Fiorenza, scusami. I'm sorry. Diana, I'm sorry. We have technical issues with changing the videos, etc. And so now before we saw a video message by Susanne Schodel, the FAI secretary. Now we'll see a tribute from Fiorenza De Bernardi, first Italian airline pilot, early in 1967.
Arrivai a Milano che mi aveva assunto lì e non mi dicevano neanche buongiorno i ragazzi che c'erano. Io gli dissi: ragazzi, io sono qui e ci rimango, quindi arrangiatevi. E da quel momento siamo diventati amici. Sono Fiorenza De Bernardi, la prima pilota di linea in Italia e la quarta nel mondo. Fiorenza penso che ha sempre detto quello che pensava da quando è nata. Io dicevo sempre: quando smetto di studiare mi compro una baita in montagna, vendo birre e salsicce e qua non mi vedete più. Perché io avevo la montagna in mente, ho arrampicato, sono andata in giro, le ho fatte tutte a piedi le Alpi, e quindi quella era la mia idea. Poi un giorno un amico di mio padre che era su un grosso aereo militare mi guarda e dice: che vuoi salire? Oh, salgo, ho detto io. E quando abbiamo fatto sto volo poi sono scesa e dissi a mio padre: ma che aspetti a farmi fare un brevetto? Mio padre, posso dire che a parte una persona simpatica, solare come si dice adesso, era veramente uno dei più grandi piloti del mondo. Diceva: prima devi imparare a volare senza l'indicatore di velocità, senza l'indicatore di quota, tanto qui gli aeroplanini piccoli li senti col sedere come il cavallo e quindi ti devi arrangiare anche se ti si rompe qualcosa. Allora un giorno ho preso l'aeroplanino e me ne sono andata. Un volo meraviglioso, c'avevo un falchetto che volava sotto di me e non lo scorderò mai sto volo. Poi sono atterrata perfettamente e pensai: e mo che mi dice mio padre? E invece è stato contentissimo perché gli ho tolto quel momento in cui l'istruttore deve dire: vabbè, adesso vai. L'ho fatto da sola, ecco fatto. Poi ho preso il brevetto di pilota di montagna e quindi vedi che con l'aeroplanetto qua potevo atterrare sulla neve. Questo è sull'Adamello. E qui sull'Adamello, una volta che siamo dovuti rimanere fermi, bloccati, eravamo 2 aeroplanini, perché le montagne sono tutte coperte di nubi, quindi non si poteva decollare, ci siamo fatti che qui forse si vede poco, sto Montarozzo era un igloo. E abbiamo passato la notte nell'igloo, ma vi dico io che sono nottate di un ricordo e di una bellezza incredibile, senza rompipalle, senza telefonini, senza solo noi e natura. In principio non ci credevano sulla donna pilota, è stato tutto un po' da verificare, da combattere, abbiamo dovuto studiare molte cose perché anche per esempio se tu sei incinta quanto fino a che punto poi portate i passeggeri in giro. Quindi anche con medici abbiamo dovuto studiare queste possibilità. Le donne avevano più paura degli uomini a venire in volo con te, perché se una donna non sa fare una data cosa pensa che anche le altre non lo sappiano fare. Quando poi mi vedevano in divisa là a bordo che pilotavo, pensavano che eri un dio. Bello però, dai. Guarda che è un cielo stupendo stamattina per voi, per organizzare.
Fiorenza, she concluded the message by saying, "Look, what a beautiful sky. I organized that for you." And she is a passionate sports woman, and that's something we will talk about later. Now it's time for Diana Ferrero. I'm sorry for before. I didn't read, it was my mistake. I wasn't reading the correct part of the...
It's okay. Don't worry. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm represented the Federation of European Women Pilots, and it's a non-profit federation, low non-profit federation. It was founded in Italy. You cannot imagine that.
No, I wouldn't.
In Rome, September 1995. So I'm very glad to present you a part of our members. We have one aim, or many aims, goals, I would say. We cultivate and retain links between women pilots. We provide opportunity for women pilots to meet and to fly together around Europe. And we develop international relationships between women pilots, and nevertheless, we promote aviation for women, and we support young female pilots. You see, for example, a UK pilot, and here we are presenting or preparing our AGM, annual general meeting. And here you see Italian women pilots at our meeting. It's very rapid. Sorry. We just saw again the We Fly. Here is again the board of every participant at the AGM. Here you see a fly-in related to the Federation European Pilot 2 years ago in Caposile, where you see many nations. 9 nations are between these women. Yes, thank you. I will tell you how many we are. Actually 13 nations in Europe. And mostly are coming at our fly-in, because the fly-ins and I would say our general meeting is once a year in turn for every nation. Oh, that is a Slovenian girlfriend. Here is the part where I'm living, and this is also the same. Oh, I'm so sorry. I guess something, it's too much. It's too rapid. It's
starting again.
I'm sorry.
It's starting again.
Okay,
from the beginning.
So it was not the meaning to have everything. These are my granddaughters. I'm so sorry. This is Paris. We have the meeting in Paris, and we have a very nice meeting, and we have been visiting La Ferté-Alais. And here you have in the midst of our women pilots, you have Slovenia left, at your right, Austria, and in the midst you have a French girl who has no hands, and she's learning flying with the feet. Here you have the company we were in Paris, And this is a welcome for a federation in Switzerland. It's very typical because our meetings are, we are interested to fly with the country who is hosting us. And we have been oriented to see what kind of activity they are doing on the place and the nation. We are mostly with aeronautical interest, visiting factories or maybe airliners or maybe other interesting things, cultural and also gastronomical. What else? We meet, as I told you, in turn. And the 13 nations are UK, Germany, French, Spain, Italy, of course. We have Netherlands, Belgium, Austria, Serbia, Romania, Slovenia. So we are very happy to invite everybody who belongs to an association to join us in the next 5 years. We already have our appointment with many of these nations. 2019 is Spain, 2020 is Cyprus, 21 is Romania, 22 is Serbia, and Slovenia again 2023. And we invite you to join us. It will be a pleasure. The condition is to be a pilot, to have a license, and to belong to an association, a national association. If you need more information, I have flyers here, and I can answer your questions. Thank you for your attention.
Grazie. Grazie mille. So, if I understand correctly, in all 13 nations, in each one of them, there is one association of women pilots, which is federated in the European Federation of Pilots. Exactly. Okay, thank you very much. Next speaker is Liz Sparrow, competitive glider pilot for the UK.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm wearing...
Yeah.
You can see the T-shirt here. Women Glide, we set up, a group of us who are in the British women's team, gliding internationally, set up something to try and encourage more people into flying competition gliding several years ago. It's been really quite a volunteer thing. It's not been an official thing within the British Gliding Association and so on, but we thought if we could set up something that actually made people feel that they were not alone, then we might possibly be able to help a few more people improve their gliding, improve their chance of racing, and to say that you could do this. And so I think if we can go to the next slide. So we did it the easy way. It's on Facebook. It's called Women Glide. People post things. We show pictures. We share all of the stuff that we see from Fly Pink, from Margot and Marina and everybody. And we, whenever we know something's going on, we try and just celebrate it when somebody goes solo. And the whole idea of Women Glide is that it's a virtual thing, it's virtual support, but we do real things as well. Because some of the practical things, and I'll talk a little more in a sec about these, some of the practical things we discover, women feel alone, and they don't see anyone who looks like them at the Aero Club, at the gliding club. They see, in the UK, they see a lot of 50-year-old white men who run the sport, who always have. Actually, most of them are older than that. And they think, okay, maybe this isn't something for me. So we're trying to be a visible virtual community that says it may just be you there today, but there are others of us out here. So we do it this way because there aren't terribly many of us. In the UK at the moment, it's about between 6 and 7% of glider pilots are women. So we've been doing this for a while, and yes, you know, some bits are working nicely, but actually 6 or 7 years down the line, it's still about 6% of glider pilots are women. And there aren't enough of us to make a big difference. We're all very busy, we're all doing these things. We can help a number of people in competition, which is what we love, but it's very difficult to do something bigger that increases participation. So last year, and if we could look at the next slide, last year the British Gliding Association refreshed its general strategy, and this is really important. The British Gliding Association has a strategy that 10 to 20 years out, the makeup of gliding should be the same as the makeup of the UK. That's 50% women. Now, saying it doesn't make it happen, but I think that not saying it stops it happening. And so last year, this became the strategy, and those of us who are there, both men and women, have started a project with a number of work streams to try and get all the way from trying to let more women know that there are airfields out there, all the way up to increasing our chance of winning medals at internationals. And we've got people starting to work on these areas now formally, as well as all of the informal support that we're doing. So that's happening. Doesn't mean there are very many more of us doing it at the moment, but we're starting to pull some people in. And then the last picture. What's easy? It's really, really easy. When you meet someone, it's really easy to inspire them and tell them, this is what I do. I look like you. I may be a bit greyer than most. But when we can get people there, we find it very easy to fire them up, and they become part of the team, and it works really well. What's hard is everything else. Meeting enough people when there aren't so many of you. The other thing we've found, and it's really something that I think we need to work on, when you say, I am running a coaching program and it is designed for people like you, people who have got your qualification, who are doing what you're doing, and they go, oh, but you didn't mean me, you meant someone who was really, really, really good already, you didn't mean me. Women say, it's not me you're talking to. And we have to cut through that. And we don't know the best ways of doing it, but we do know that this is a problem. We know it's a problem. Another problem is that dinosaurs are not yet extinct. And we get a lot of feedback. We've done some research, we've done surveys, we've got some data on this. But there are a lot of people who are still behaving very badly in gliding clubs, making it difficult for women, and actually, you know, not helping. As well as that, women tend to have busier lifestyles, and so gliding is it's not a terribly expensive sport, but it's quite a time-consuming sport. So we're looking at how we can make it into bite-sized pieces that you can turn up, fly for a bit, and you don't have to do something all day, and maybe there's somewhere you can leave the kids. So we're looking at ways that you can fit gliding into women's busy lives. I just wanted to end with one very quick thing. One of the work streams that we're doing, we bid earlier on this year to run the 2021 Women's World Championships in the UK. Now, we did that because we wanted to put something back in, but mostly we did it to be the focus of getting women in air sports visible in the UK. And actually, I would like to make it not just a focus of the UK gliding and UK air sports. I would like to make it an international celebration of women air sports. I would like it if we can have more nations competing than have ever competed at a Women's World Championships before. I would like it to be something that we can work with the other nations to see how we can make it easier for them to come along and get involved. We'd like it to be brilliant, and we'd like other people to be able to steal the ideas and take them back home. So that was all I was going to say. That's what we're doing.
Grazie. It's now time for Nadia Wafa. Thank you.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you for coming from so far away. Thank you for coming from so far away.
I guess I'm going to try it, but please apologize if I say it wrong. Io mi chiamo Nadia Wafa.
Bravissima.
Grazie. Okay, so my name is Nadia Wafa. You can see the video as well. I would just give a talk, just a bit of sharing experience. I came from Malaysia, and like the moderator say, I am very new to this air sports in this aviation industry, and I'm very, very excited to be here, especially to have a woman convention such as this, because coming from Asia, I guess I can share you what I can share is an Asian perspective on women's development there. So how I started was that basically it's like Liz say, is inspiring, meeting inspiring people, getting the motivation to get into air sports. And then in the same time meeting more inspirational figures such as you all here. I met Susan Schodel last year, and she was really an inspiring figure that helps me to keep my passion in, keep moving into air sport. And basically I find my passion at last in paragliding. I'm a paragliding pilot. I'm a part of the Malaysia national athletes for the paragliding. This is how I started actually in air sports. I was, young and heartbroken, so try to find something to do to vent out the emotions. So I did my static ride only, and then wanted to continue further, but I could not. So I decided to go to paragliding, and when I did the paragliding, it's just a passion that I'm into it. We all started as recreational in Malaysia, and mostly in Asia is how we started as recreational. So I was exposed to, in terms of air sports, in terms of the sports of paragliding, accuracy, and cross-country, when I went to World Air Games in Dubai, and I saw that, wow, there is something, in Asia, we're not exposed to this. We don't have, even, we can say gliding, we don't have it much in Asia. In Malaysia, we don't have it at all. So when I got exposed to all this in World Air Game, I came back in 2015, 2016 early. I decided to just quit my job, try to do paragliding full-time to be the first professional paragliding athlete, not just a female, but the first, because we don't have yet. And luckily this year, I was the first paragliding athlete to be sponsored, to get a full athlete sponsorship by a Malaysia Airlines. And to me, it was something young. I felt proud, because like this, even the men in my community say that, oh no, paragliding won't get sponsors. We are not we're not a famous sport in Malaysia. So I proved them wrong, and it gave me a good sense of proudness to actually prove them wrong. So this is me. This is just my paragliding experience in Malaysia. Actually, some are in overseas, like this one in Abu Dhabi, and I am focusing right now more on an accuracy competition, which I understand is not so famous in European yet. But in Asia, I guess because we don't have a lot of good paragliding places to cross country, so we focus on accuracy. So this was one of my first experience in a cross country competition in Nepal, which then I landed in the middle of the valley, bomb out, but safe. It's good landing. So recently we just had we had the Asian Game in Indonesia. So basically, there will be another slide after this that I'm going to share with you, like how is the woman dynamics in Asia itself, right? Basically I can say it's still growing. It is very new. It is getting stronger, yet the community is still small. So in Malaysia itself, I can tell you by experience, it's very, very little. And I really hope that by coming here, by listening to all of you guys, amazing ladies, inspiring women here, that I could bring it back to Asia and in this event to actually just share something that might help to contribute to women's empowerment in more women's dynamic in esports. We are about to finish the video, I think. But yeah, this is how I started. This is all happening just 2 years ago, and this was relatively new. It was a new thing for me in esport. Like Liz say, is how I get passionate in this sport is I got motivated to do this, and then I just keep at it until I get my passion in it. So this was. Yep. Oh, at the same time, I am a lady biker, so I guess I have been close to the women community. And when I came into the paragliding world, the esports world, I wanted to have something. Oh, this is in the recent Asian game. Yes. Yeah. Okay, this is some of my sponsors. So basically, hopefully we're good. All right. After this I think is a photo of. Oh, there's nothing. Okay. Actually, there's a photo to show that how the women's in Asia, how the women's dynamic in Asian game. That's actually basically they are all awesome lady. What we do in Asian game was we compete as the men's do. We compete in accuracy is the same thing, and then basically in cross country we did the same task. So for me, I think that's to show that we can do anything. Basically, nothing is impossible for us ladies. So I guess that's for me for now. We'll see you later. Thank you.
Thank you, Nadia. Grazie mille. Thank you very much. So you actually found the sponsors, yes. And you are flying in many beautiful places outside your country too.
Starting to.
You are a lucky girl. Next speaker is Caterina Manzini. Grazie, Caterina. Sei già pronto, Marco? Sì, sei già pronto.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm trying to speak sometimes in Italian and sometimes in English, I'm sorry. Io vi ho portato un video di qualche anno fa dove si vede un allenamento, quindi è un video casalingo, non è un video professionale, ma per farvi percepire quello che c'è dietro, quello che c'è dentro all'acrobazia. L'acrobazia è un modo di volare, a mio avviso, estremamente femminile, perché chi fa acrobazia, chi vola, e qui siamo quasi tutti piloti, sa bene che la sensibilità è l'elemento che definisce la precisione di una manovra. E mi piace sottolineare questo, perché non perché gli uomini non siano precisi, ma perché sostanzialmente non esiste una differenza uomo-donna. Prima se ne parlava. Parte tutto dal nostro cervello e dalla nostra passione, quindi dal cervello e dal cuore. Se c'è questo connubio, sicuramente si può riuscire a fare tanto. Vi voglio raccontare un aneddoto che mi ha toccato da vicino qualche tempo fa. Ero in aeroporto, stavo andando su a fare allenamento e per radio mi dicono: guarda che sono venuti i carabinieri perché una persona ha chiamato preoccupata dicendo c'è una donna che sta facendo delle cose strane sulle nostre teste e noi abbiamo paura. Questo vi fa capire un po' che cosa significa anche scontrarsi tutti i giorni con purtroppo l'ignoranza delle persone, ma non è colpa loro, è probabilmente colpa nostra che non facciamo percepire quanto sia bello volare, quanta passione ci sia dietro a quello che facciamo. Per cui quello che posso dire, e il mio consiglio anche un po' generico, è quello di parlare sempre con tanta passione alle persone che non conoscono e che si vogliono approcciare a queste attività, che sia volo, acrobatico, aliante, autogiro, elicottero, non importa. E quello che si crea, è un'altra cosa che mi diverte dire, quello che si crea con il proprio mezzo quando c'è un discorso di sensibilità in volo è veramente una storia d'amore, per cui sostanzialmente noi prima di tutto siamo fidanzate con il nostro mezzo e dopodiché con chi ce l'ha o chi non ce l'ha il proprio marito fidanzato, per cui è un rapporto veramente inscindibile. Di conseguenza questa passione la dobbiamo assolutamente portare al di fuori delle nostre superfici, dei nostri aeroporti, farla conoscere a tutti e in questo modo verremo sicuramente più apprezzate.
Grazie.
Prego.
Grazie Caterina. I noticed, just in English, a few words. I noticed she said there is a feminine trait to aerobatic flying. And then she describes the liaison between herself and her airplane. And I really loved it. Thank you very much. Next speaker is Carolina. There's something I have to say to the audience. Devo dare una comunicazione al pubblico. Se qualcuno ha parcheggiato la macchina nel parcheggio del ristorante, che sta aspettando gli ospiti di un matrimonio, invece bisogna liberare il parcheggio del ristorante. Please, if you parked your car in the restaurant parking, please move it from there, because there's a wedding. There's a wedding coming in. Allora, next speaker is Carolina Dell'Onte. Grazie Carolina.
Buonasera a tutti. I apologize because I don't have so many pictures or any videos, because at the time I was flying, we were not so used to take pictures all the time, so I just have some of them. I have been in the aviation business since 1995, and I started as a ramp agent at the airport in Bologna. I'm Italian, I'm from Bologna. And then I flew 10 years as a commercial pilot in the executive flight business on this amazing aircraft, which is the Piaggio P180 Avanti 1 and 2. And it is an Italian aircraft. And I was very honored at the time to be the first woman on this aircraft, because the story of this aircraft starts in the 80s and in the 90s, and as a military aircraft. So when it was converted for the civil aviation, there were only actually military pilots on them. And I'm a little bit emotionally now. I'm sorry.
Bravissima.
Actually, what I wanted to say about my experience is that when I started to fly, I was the only woman in the airline, and I was always the only woman. We had 6 aircrafts, we were 25 pilots, and in all my experience, I had to face many times several difficulties because I was a woman. And but my message with the book I wrote, because I wrote a book when I decided to stop to fly, and I'm an instructor now. I left the flying world, and I became a crew resource management instructor. I went back to university, so I got my psychology degree because I wanted to get more deeper on the psychological side of flying, which is very, very interesting and very deep. So I decided to stop to fly for many reasons, and I decided also to write a book sharing my story. And because actually the reasons why I wrote my book are two. The first reason was to share this experience with the young generations, not only with women, but also with men, and to be always very, to feel always very comfortable with the idea to do maybe a job where the environment is almost exclusivamente a male environment. So, but I didn't want to write a story where only about the difficulties, of course. So in this book, you will find a lot also about the bright side of this job, the fun of it, and because it's really fun to fly, and so the adventure and the misadventures in the air and on the ground are actually the big part of the story. Of course, I tell something also about myself, and also about the reasons why I decided to stop to fly. The second reason why I wrote the book was also that I had to deal at a certain point of my life with the feeling that I didn't fly anymore. And when you love so much flying and when you have such big passion, to change your life is not that easy. So to write about it was like a therapy. It was like a way to remember and to get deeper in my love of flying and to transform it, because I still have a lot of love for flying, but now it's a different kind of love. It's a love to give messages and give how can I say, to give energy to the young generations and especially to women, to follow their dreams, to don't care about what society or family or friends are telling them. And because if you believe in yourself, there are no boundaries. So my story is actually more about a message that you have to follow actually your dreams and to believe in yourself. Then there is the funny part, of course, which is that flying for executive airline business, let's say in the private business, you have a lot of funny situations and you meet a lot of people. And you deal a lot with passengers too, which is not actually so much the part of the job of a commercial airline pilot. And so you will find in the story also some, let's say, some interesting and funny sides of this world. The last thing. When I went to Rome, I was already a commercial pilot. I was flying already since several years. Then I had to attend this very big exam to get the airline transport pilot license, which actually is a very big exam. It takes 7 days with 14 different subjects. And I went to Rome. We were 95 candidates. And at the end of the week, together with me, we were 95 candidates, only 6 girls in 95. And by the end of the week, together with me, passed the exams, other four girls out of 6, we were 6, and the other 5 were men. So this is the message, that if you believe in yourself, you can do whatever you want.
Grazie. Grazie Carolina, il messaggio è recepito ed è molto importante. Adesso tocca a Carla Angelucci. Now it's time for Carla Angelucci. Preferisce usare il gelato, Marco?
Posso? Good evening to everybody. I'm Carla, Captain Carla Angelucci from Italian Air Force, and first of all I wanted to introduce my colleague. Così parlerò in italiano e vi introduco le mie colleghe, poi avrò la gentilezza di tradurre tutto quello che dovrò dire, che preferisco dire in italiano per non perdere nulla. Chiamo per gentilezza qui il tenente di vascello Carmela Carbonara, il capitano Era Galli. Rispettivamente abbiamo il tenente di vascello Carmela Carbonara della Marina Militare e il capitano Era Galli dell'Esercito. E vorrei che venissero qui insieme a noi anche le nostre colleghe per quanto riguarda i corpi armati dello Stato, quindi il funzionario pilota Floriana Balle, la tenente Eleonora Macaluso della Guardia di Finanza, Vigili del Fuoco Floriana Balle, per la Polizia Rossella Governa. Letizia Musella, la specialista della polizia. Ho chiamato tutte perché questa è l'immagine che vorrei dare di noi. Io parlo come Stato Maggiore Difesa, quindi Esercito, Marina, Aeronautica e Carabinieri, ma noi siamo abituati a lavorare in un ambito interforze in cui ci troviamo a parlare anche a lavorare con Vigili del Fuoco, Guardia di Finanza, Polizia e ci manca la pilota dei Canadair. Giusto? Eccola. Ho le vallette che suggeriscono. Giulia Giorgetta. Rigoletti, ok. Che cosa vogliamo dire? Noi siamo nell'ambito Forze Armate e nell'ambito Corpi Armati dello Stato. Siamo un pochettino tutte fra le prime che siamo entrate, ma la cosa più bella e più importante è che noi abbiamo partecipato a dei concorsi aperti indistintamente a personale maschile e femminile, quindi non erano concorsi ad hoc e soprattutto non erano concorsi con dei numeri limitati. Se abbiamo deciso di fare questo lavoro, penso tutte quante per la stessa passione che ci anima, ognuna di noi si muove in ambiti diversi, con diverse specialità e professionalità, ma ognuna di noi sono sicura che lavora nel proprio ambito, nel proprio ambiente in maniera del tutto indiscriminata e del tutto paritetica ai colleghi uomini. Nel nostro ambito non c'è una forte distinzione, come dicevo prima, tutti i ruoli e tutte le specialità sono aperte a tutti, uomini e donne. E inoltre anche la possibilità di carriera è progressiva ed è pienamente lineare con quello che è il proprio grado. Tutte siamo impiegate in vari settori, faccio un piccolo excursus da Calmela, il tenente di vascello Carmela Carbonara della Marina, che si occupa, lei è un pilota di H101 nell'ambito dell'eliassalto. Il capitano Era Galli, che invece è un pilota dell'esercito, quindi dell'aviazione dell'esercito, e pilota di 205. La nostra funzionaria pilota dei Vigili del Fuoco, invece vogliamo dire che è l'unica donna pilota di aeroplano dei Vigili del Fuoco e lavora su Ciampino. La tenente Eleonora Macaluso, la piccolina oggi, te lo posso dire, è un pilota della Guardia di Finanza e comandante del nucleo aereo di Venezia per quanto riguarda la Guardia di Finanza, pilota sul TH500 e in fase di abilitazione prossima, futura immediata, speriamo. Ok. Dopodiché abbiamo l'Ossella Governa, che mi ha detto che è il capo della Polizia Venezia, del nucleo aereo della Polizia di Venezia, con la sua specialista. Va bene, con la specialista di Bologna, comunque abbiamo la specialista di Bologna e la nostra pilota di Canadair, che prima mi ha detto sono solamente 3 pilote di Canadair in Italia che si alternano un po' per quello che è il servizio antincendio a livello nazionale e poi anche per partecipare al FLYDONNA, giusto? Vi alternate. E questo è un po'. Io sono il capitano Carlo Angelucci, aeronautica militare, sono istruttore di volo sia su aeroplani che elicotteri e da poco su questi trabiccoli alianti, questi cosini leggeri. Questi siamo noi, forse la cosa più semplice dopo qualche domanda se ne avete per noi, però il messaggio che vogliamo dare, e sono convinta le mie colleghe condividano pienamente, è proprio questo. Cioè il poter accedere ai concorsi per quanto riguarda le forze armate e i corpi armati dello Stato in maniera indistinta, sia uomini che donne, e poter accedere a tutte le progressioni di carriera e a tutte le professionalità sempre in maniera totalmente indistinta. E questa è la cosa più importante.
Grazie mille. Carlo Angelucci said too many things for me to translate, but she invited all her colleagues and friends from different armed forces and civil services. Carlo Angelucci is an instructor in helicopter, airplane and glider, for example, and she has such a long list of qualifications, I really just cannot read them all. You are combat search and rescue, survival and escape. It's incredible. Too many things to mention. Congratulations, thank you very much. Last speaker, individual speaker for the moment is Donatella Ricci.
Yeah, sorry.
Grazie Donatella.
Thank you. Sorry, but I would prefer to stay here. I'm just a little unstable with the two. Scusate, rimango seduta, ho un po' di difficoltà se no a stare in piedi. Un piccolo esempio. This is a short movie related to my record. It was achieved on November 2016. It was a world record of altitude with the gyroplane. It was a big result. We worked a lot for 9 months trying to increase performance, not only myself, but for the gyro itself. Gyro is an Italian machine. It's a Magni Gyro, as you will see, is also a sponsor for this event. It's an Italian machine. It was made, everything was Italian. We made the record in Italy, and there was a lot of passion, a lot of work together. So I found a great team that was very important for achieving this result. This is just a short summary of what was the flight, but just to give you the idea, because 8,399 meters is a very big, huge altitude, more than 27,000 feet. The idea is that if you want to reach a target, if you have a passion, and let's say, if you want to follow your dream, you have to work hard, but you can reach. It's not a matter of man or female. It's just a question of passion. And the reason probably I completely agree with this project, the FI project, is that follow your passion is the main message for FLYDONNA. FLYDONNA was invented in 2007. You see, this is the really incredible scenery that it was on the top. And the gyroplane was open copy, so it was very cold. On one flight, it was also minus 50 degrees, and it was difficult for many reasons, but we can discuss later. Anyway, the passion was the real driver for this record. It was an incredible result, I say, because it was an Italian. Not many persons were just believe that a woman was able to do this result, but we did it. I was not alone, because it's very important to create a team, to have a club, a team, something that can follow you. So the idea to FLYDONNA was exactly this one, to create an event that was able to put together all the women, because there are so many, without any distinction for the activity. Because if you have a passion for the flight, you have a passion. You can fly with a glider, with the engine, whatever. You can drop, as we see, for the parachute, but we have the same passion. We are sharing the same feeling. So the idea for FLYDONNA is just find a moment and try to create a possibility to stay together. Because I was saying, if we are together, we can really change the world, but it's not so big, but it's easy. We have just to stay together and to have a dream, have a target together. Thank you.
Grazie Donatella. Grazie mille Donatella. E infatti questo è lo scopo del meeting biennale FLYDONNA. This is the vision behind the FLYDONNA biennial meeting. We want to discuss... Dimmi. Ah sì, puoi prendere, certo, naturalmente, grazie. Collaboratori che ci tolgono il leggio da davanti. I looked for some information on the internet before this discussion in order to find some questions, clues, and indications. There's one statistic that keeps coming up. Whether we talk about sports aviation or a career in aviation or airline pilots, the average percent of female pilots doesn't reach 10%. It's about between 4 and 7%. The global average for female airline pilots is 3.2% at the moment. And it's a bit surprising, for example. Norwegian Airlines only has 2% female pilots, while United in the USA has 7.4%. And I have heard that in India it's about 9.2% airline female pilots. Many questions arose for me. I will just read some of them to you. And if you have something you want to comment about it, I would be happy. For example, what was... I would like to ask it to Nadia, for example, because you are so young, and then I will also ask to somebody else. What's the first image you have in your mind, in your memories? Probably you were a very small child about flying, which might have inspired you. In my case, I remember I was 6 or 7 years old, and I had a small red plane with rubber band engine, which was flying, and I still love it, I still remember. Is there anything you remember from your early age?
I think at the time, Malaysia, I think when I was younger at that age, we were just launching our international airports. Yeah, we just opened up a very new international airport by our president at the time. So at that time, we were introduced into the aviation industry. We had our own airlines, and I guess that, going up to the plane, they were giving up these free planes, the airline planes. So they were giving up to people that went onto the flight at that time. So I guess that just inspired me. Oh, this is something I fly. So as I grew up, it grew. I think we lost it until it came back to me when 3 years ago, when I was just looking for something to do, looking up to the sky, and this is it. And then hearing a story about female astronaut and going up to the stars, just going for your passion. And for me, I'm into sports. So I've always been inspired by people, women in sports. Just doing something that that men say, oh, girls can't do. So it's not just in aviation, but in other sports, in other things that inspire me to go for this. And when I get into air sports, coming here, hearing about the FLYDONNA event, this is just wow for me.
Thank you, Nadia. And for example, maybe Liz, you want to say something about your first memories. What brought you to aviation sports? I think there is a button. Is it?
So I don't come from a family with a history of flying.
You don't?
No,
Okay.
no, not at all. But I am an engineer.
Okay.
And so, and I'm a mechanical engineer, so I'm used to being, when I first started working, I was the only woman working in the factory that I was working in. My first factory, there were no ladies' toilets in one of the factories because they hadn't had any women there before. And we laugh when we say that, but actually lots of gliding clubs are like that today, and to some extent. So I got into it. I just fancied a go, and I turned up and got completely hooked. But the people my age, because I'm 50-something, in the UK, my husband Alan, who's sat at the back there somewhere, boys his age got to do air cadet things and go flying and things, whereas women didn't really. And it's different now. It's much, much better. But anybody who thinks we're going to change this, we've got to be in it for the long term. This is not going to be quick. This is something that people, and I think you were asking, do women not want to fly? Do they not want to compete? Do they not want to do air sports? I think a lot of this, and I come from a point where, as I say, I'm an engineer and I'm used to doing things that other women didn't tend to do. But most don't. And most don't because I think they never thought, it never occurred to them that they could. And I think we have to role model and inspire people that you can, show them that, you know, we're all sat here, we've done it, other people can. But we also have to get through to the people that wider society, so they're teachers and things like that, because it's what's in your head is what limits people. And I think that's the way we have to change things, is getting back to make it visible, make people understand. I've said enough.
Thank you, Liz. Well, for example, in my case, well, we are talking about women, and I'm a man, I'm sorry. But in my case, there were certainly, I was exposed to misconceptions about what aviation could be for me. So I was above 30 years of age when I understood I could actually start a sporting career in aviation. Before, I thought I should have had to be physically more fit than I am, or more, you know. So anybody thinks there are misconceptions about... Donatella, you want to say something?
No, I
Carolina.
just wanted to give you my first image of flying when I was a little girl. Because my first image of flying was my mother terrifying. She was terrifying of flying. So when I was a little girl, every time we had to take an airplane, it was a drama in the family because my mother was really, really terrified. So I remember this fear of flying in my mother's eyes, and I didn't understand it. I never understood it. And because I really loved airplanes since I was really little, and it was natural for me. So I was just wanted to tell this story because even if you have a negative approach in the beginning of something, this doesn't mean that it can develop in something very amazing or extraordinary. So my mother was terrified, and in some way I became more and more in love with flying. So I don't know why, but it was like that.
You have a rebel spirit, probably.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, that was the first image I had. But
Thank
it was
you.
interesting.
Thank you very much. Donatella, stavi per dirci qualcosa?
Yeah, just two ideas regarding the fact that, yeah, I think also for FLYDONNA, but also in our club, we are, the experience that we have is that many often, if a couple or person, a man, a female, a man with a couple is coming, probably the man is asking for information for the flight, but the woman is just on the back, without asking, without moving. And it seems that because if you start talking with her, it's easy to understand that the image of this, for this woman is the flight is very, like say, sometimes it's dangerous, sometimes it's very far away, sometimes it's difficult. So what we are doing in our club is just to invite the woman to try, to test, at least to have one flight with me, for example, because very often women are trusting more women than men, but it's something that is a common experience, that on the other side there is someone that is not so, the feelings that something far away, it's difficult and far away. For FLYDONNA, I had a similar experience many times, because I was receiving email or person coming just asking me how it was possible for me to fly, because their experience was something very far, as difficult, and so on. So what I believe is that in 10 years, I really had the possibility to catch the variation, let's say, from the beginning, because now there are many more women able to at least to approach the flight. I don't know if they will be able to follow all the story, but they are just more women interested in understanding, in testing, trying than before. So now I think we are, is a long process, as was then said. It's a long process. We are going to change something in our, not just in our mind, but in the mind also of several men, that something can be done also for women in the aeronautical field. But it's, I believe, I'm sorry, but I believe that it will be a very slow process.
Grazie, grazie. Grazie Donatella, thank you very much Donatella. And another topic that comes out frequently is roles. Are there roles in education which can put a bias on what a very young girl thinks she can do or she cannot do? And maybe our pilot from the army, she might tell us something. Carla Angelini.
I'm not the best person to answer to your question, but I think that everybody has to choose what they want to do. So if women want to enter in Air Force or want to start to fly, it's good that they have the possibility to do it. But if women don't want to do it, because probably also in our country we have a different way to think, okay, I think the time will change and we need time to do this. So
yes, it will probably take still much more time. And also, for a woman, do you think it's different? It's more difficult to find the balance between work and life and family?
No, I don't think so. I think that now if a woman wants to have what work, the important work, is not a problem to coordinate it with the family, with the possibility to have son, children. For example, we have Carmela, that now is here with Michelangelo, and so I think that when someone wants to do something, she can do or he can do what he wants to do.
That's great. Liz, tell me.
Yeah, I think that's true, but that's limited to the small number of women who are in the aviation industry and in sport, and I think that's part of the problem. Anybody can, but most people don't, and it's actually really structurally quite hard for people to do it. And we look at gliding, and lots of couples get together. She gets pregnant, she stops flying, he carries on flying, she pushes the pram. And, you know, this is something that there aren't necessarily good facilities for children, and it's perhaps better in the professional side of things than it is in the sports side, because perhaps more likely to be opportunity for childcare and things like that. But I think, you know, a small number of people will do it regardless. And I think that's what we're trying to say. How do you make it easier for a bigger number of people to do it? And people don't find it easy.
But I don't think the problem is the difficulties, because, for example, for Air Force, for military part, we have a lot of rules that help us to do everything. So it's not a problem. The problem is the volunteer. Women in Italy usually prefer to approach a different kind of work. Military is a work, and usually women prefer to approach a different kind of work, but is a choice, not an imposition.
So maybe it's not the opportunities which are too few or lacking, it's the drive to do it.
I would just to add something, because I think that for women that are flying for passion, that is different from the military, or I don't know exactly for job, but for passion, the situation is like you say. I mean, it's not easy for a couple with a family or children that both are deciding to do some flight, or to do, in any case, a license, whatever. And usually, the money are just managed by the men. This is the standard in Italy, I believe, at least in Italy. So women that are flying for passion just because they are behind the men, and if there are some additional requirement, like the family, the children, the school, whatever, the women usually is just, related to do this activity, this job, and not the flight. So this is the reason for FLYDONNA. Just one event in which the men can take care of whatever, but the women has to come here and to do the flight with us. So I believe that it still is a different view, because it's not military, it's not commercial, it's just for passion, for fun. Yeah. So in this case, yes, we still have several steps to do before reaching something, as Carla said.
I totally agree with Donatella. It's really totally different. For us, it's a work, and a passion and a work. But it's a work, it's different. We have rule, we have everything, and we have the possibility to do this work and to do this, but it's different, I agree.
Please, Liz. Sure. You wanted? Yeah, just a second. Liz.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I mean, it's quite interesting that in the UK, well, internationally, but EasyJet have a program that they have just started, which is 20-20-20, which is they are, at the moment, they have, I think, 4% of their pilots are women, and they have said that they want to get this to 20% by 2020. Now, that's only like 2 years away.
My latest information is they already reached the 10%, more or less, they say.
Okay, that's not what they posted
it's proceeding
in the UK.
Faster than expected.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I think, I mean, that sort of thing's great. And because of what we're trying to do, some of the things that I'm involved in the UK from that project, we're actually starting to talk to BA and to EasyJet and people to see whether we can actually partner with them. Because one of the things that women lack exposure to aviation. And boys tend still to get planes and little gliders and things, and girls tend not to. So one of the things we're trying to do, you can get young women onto airfields fairly cheaply, get them gliding, get them into simulators. And we think this is perhaps a way that we can encourage more women to understand that they could. And that's something that if you can do that at schools level, then actually it starts, the school children know, their teachers know, their teachers tell them that they can, and that's the way to start it. And I just want very quickly to give one example of two friends of ours. They both were glider pilots. They had a daughter. They both gave up gliding because they didn't have enough time. And mother was a commercial pilot. She flew night mail. And when they started gliding again, actually it was him that started gliding, and their daughter came to the airfield and said, "Oh, can men be pilots too?"
That's great.
So it is. It's all up there.
That's very interesting. You wanted to say something, Nadia?
Yes, I just wanted to...
Carolina, okay. Scusa.
No, I was just... it's true that as a commercial pilot or as a military pilot, once you are in the business, you have the same possibilities and the same chance to do your job well. But my question is, these women which are in the business, why they are only 4% or 5% or 6%? Because I think that the problems is very far away from the job environment. It starts from the family. It starts from the society. It starts from your school, your teachers. And so the way of thinking for a little girl, it's difficult if she has around her a family which thinks that it's better that she will become a mom or a lawyer instead of a military pilot, for example. And just make an example very easy to understand. I have a little niece. She is 5 years old. And one day she came at home with a pirate hat. And at home there were some friends of her parents. And they said, "Oh, wow, why are you a pirate?" And she said, "Yeah, I'm a pirate. You know, I want to navigate, you know, over the ocean." And the answer was, "Yeah, but it would be nicer if you would be a princess." You know, so that was a very easy conversation at home.
Yeah, sure.
So I think that the women doing this job, doing this kind of job, and to have enough energy and beliefs to do it, they actually need also that something must be changed from the beginning, you know, from the basics of our society. That I think.
Nadia, please, it's your turn. Thank you.
I think, hello? I think what I just want to add, I guess, I mean, I'm kind of like one of the youngest here.
Yes.
So for me, what inspires me, what get me to this passion level of being in air sport is because I think I find I started by getting inspired, you know, by getting motivated into air sports. And what helps me, that keeps me into this, is a support system, which I think what we are here right now, we are talking about how to create a support system, either an all-female support system for our female young lady or those that in the air sports already, and then we push that more into a passion level. Because like work is different, definitely. You have the support system, you are paid for it, that's an obligation, and then you found passion with it. But for us, that wasn't born into an aviation family or doesn't even introduce into that, we got stuck in it by getting inspired, and then we found a support system. For me, I'm lucky enough, from where I am in Asia, we don't have a strong support system yet, but then again, internet is amazing these days. You know, for young people like us nowadays, we can find inspiration anywhere. We use whatever we can, the technology, to inspire more female, to tell them that we have a support system. And I am actually very excited to have you guys awesome ladies here as my support, hopefully to go further into aviation, because basically I'm very young. And like hearing from all you guys just now, it is true that it is start from the mental component, how you develop society develops a young female or any female, the mentality to, you can do this. Basically, I think for me, it's not about gender much. It's just a choice that whether we want to do it or not. The rules are set for both gender, yet why? It's a choice that we have to make. It's a choice that females, you say, men are challenging themselves each other. Let's challenge female to do the same. There's nothing wrong about that, right?
Thank you, thank you. I think the statistics say that most of airline pilots, female airline pilots, actually had an exposition to sports since very early age. Not only air sports, but sports in general. They were exposed to a culture of bicycles, mountaineering, team sports, etc. That's something a trait which is in common between most of these young airline pilots. And then again, I think the roles in the family and the sharing of the workload of a family, I think this may be already changing in the youngest generation, I think. Margot, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I just wanted to say a couple of things. So the first is my experience. I had 3 children, and I met my husband gliding. So when we had the 3 children, who was at home or on the ground? It was me, of course, not him. But I think that I never stopped flying. And I think that if you have a strong passion, you go on. So what I really think it is necessary is to keep in touch with other women, encouraging them. And I'm not so sure that having groups helps so much. It is just a sort of thumb-thumb, personally. So just encouraging and going on, letting them understand that they can do it, giving examples and going on and trying to let people know that we can do it. And thinking of what Alvaro was saying, changing rules, I'm not so sure, because I love the rules that are, for example, in gliding. So it's, I don't know, it's just a matter of if you want to do something, you will perceive it. So I think that we have to work very hard on the self-esteem of the girls and to let them understand. I was absolutely super happy to see so many military girls. So this is just only, they want to do it and they are able to reach it. And there is nothing that can stop you if you really want to do something.
Thank you, Margot. That's right. There's one more question I would like to ask any of you, but for example, Caterina, it would be the time to ask you, do you remember any roles or children's books or cartoons or TV shows or movies where you actually saw a woman pilot inspiring you? You didn't, I think.
Not really.
Yeah.
And
that's what I was afraid
you know
of.
better than me the answer, but well, my first inspiration was my grandfather with my grandmother together. My grandmother was the first inspiration woman for my grandfather, that he always wanted to be a pilot, but he started to try, but he died before.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So every time when she was alive, she told me, remember, try to finish what you started before something else happened, because your passion is your energy, your life energy. So try to do all your best and follow your passion. So my grandmother, that wasn't a pilot, but was the first inspiration of my grandfather about that, about flying. So there's a connection between us. But if I can tell something about sport aviation that we talked with Donatella before, I just want to say this. For us, I'm not a commercial pilot, I'm just an aerobatic pilot and nothing else. It's really, really, it's really, really hard to maintain our training, our activity, because in Italy, especially in Italy, there is no culture about flying. So there is no sponsor. There is no people that enjoy that. So completely different is soccer in Italy. So soccer has millions of followers. There's a business behind this. And why aviation can do the same? So I think there is a wrong way to communicate our activities. And for example, on social media, on TV, there is no shows on TV about aviation. So why? Let's try to start from communication, and then I think that the result can be more or less better than today.
Thank you. In fact, so what I would like to see, for example, is a children book with a woman pilot in a children book.
A children book, just a few months ago, I saw a children book with the astronauts, pilots, engineer, chemical, all related to women. This is the first step to change really the vision, as you say.
That's interesting.
Because we have to start from the beginning, that is clear. The family has to believe that something else can be possible for a woman, not only a princess or whatever. You're right.
Thank you. Do you want to say something, Nadia?
Yes.
Diana,
Yes.
thank you.
I have a good news. In our Federation of European Women Pilots, we have some nations who are organizing one day a year for flying with young girls to show them how it is from the cockpit, and they can try to see how it feels.
Okay, that's great. Great news. Thank you very much. Maybe somebody from the public would like to add something, maybe. Marina, you want to say something? And maybe also Pierluigi, I think. Yeah, thank you, Nadia. Thank you. Thank you.
First of all,
Marina Galetto is Italian representative to the International Gliding Commission.
And also I'm the Vice President of the International Gliding Commission and Vice President of the Sport Commission of the FAI. First of all, Margot, thank you for appreciating gliding rules, since I'm one of that wrote it.
Tienilo più vicino.
Yes. There's something I would like to ask on behalf of FAI, if Alvaro allowed me to do. What the governing body of aviation can do for you, for us, as women in aviation, that is not done so far. Because I tend to agree, Alvaro, with Margot. I don't think it's a matter of rules. I think it's a matter of mentality. And it's very different. For example, I'm very close to the Asian federations, so I know very well your reality is even different. We do not talk the same language. So what can we do under national level that we can bring at the upper level in FAI that can achieve some result? So, and this is the right place, FLYDONNA, that can give some input to us, to you. Thank you.
Grazie Marina, grazie mille. Pierluigi, vuoi dire qualche cosa? Mi sembravi pronto, infatti. I thought you were ready to say something. You would like to step on? Sure. Thank you. Pierluigi Matera, the Special Commissioner of the National Aerosport Control Aero Club d'Italia.
Thank you. Margot, as said, I've come here to support your event and to prove that the Aero Club of Italy is with you and takes care of those issues. There is with me the General Director of the Aero Club, General Giuseppe D'Accolti. There are many members of the Managing Committee that currently is managing, along with me, the Federation, Stefano Cifa, Giorgio Porta, Oriano Calegati. So this is a proof. This is an evidence of attention. But moreover, I'm here to listen. And I was here to listen. So I've appreciated your speeches. And some of them were really touching, some others were inspiring. And thank you for remarking the issue, because we need to find solutions to those issues. But, I got a but. Well, thank you, Ms. Sparrow, if I may, for remarking the issue we still have to sort, and the glass ceiling we still need to break, the barrier we still need to get over. Well, regarding the men, the dinosaurs, as you define them, regarding the men who still are an obstacle to women in aviation, well, I do believe they are in extinction. So they are already, I hope so. Well, I'm 42 personally, and I cannot conceive there are still men seeing, perceiving any difference nowadays. I just can't conceive. Which I know, but that means that they are in extinction, because I'm 42, and in another generation they will be gone. Thank God. So when you see something as inconceivable, it means it's past. So they are the protected species. Maybe, well, we are not going to protect them, but they are in extinction. And so, thank God, they are about to be gone, but I do apologize for them. I'm profoundly ashamed of being a man when we talk about that, and I see that even so silly. But you know what? I don't like to deal with those issues and to treat women as an endangered species. Well, I believe, but maybe I might be wrong, but I believe that women's idea for women are better than men's idea for women. So please, come to me with any solution, with any idea. I'll be more than glad to take it and to fulfill it, to help you well, let's make it. Let's make a general meeting. Let's have representatives voted by you and not picked up, not selected by a man. Let's do that. Let's come with a solution, with more than solution, with an event and a conference, anything able to make the situation any better. And I'll be more than glad, as personally and as Special Commissioner to the National Air Club, to make it real. It's a promise, I make it, but I do not want to find a solution, because I might, but it might not be the best one. So please come to me with a solution. Margot knows me, knows this is my kind of approach, you know that. I said, okay, these are the keys, please. I'll try to help you, I'll do whatever I can, but come to me with a solution, and I'll be more than glad to make it happen if I can, of course, with all my efforts and energies. Because again, I believe that women's idea for women are much better than men's idea for women. So thank you, and thank you because I was here to listen and I learned a lot. And sorry because maybe I was not aware of many things I've just learned today. I apologize. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Liz Sparrow wanted to answer. Thank you.
I just wanted to say two things very briefly. It is a problem when there are only 2 or 3 or 4% of women in whatever, or 5%, because you simultaneously want women to be the role models, but actually, and I'm looking around and, you know, Marina just listed all the things she does. We are all too busy to take on any more, and that's difficult. And so I think that the route to having a strategy whereby the National Aero Club is saying that something needs to be done and can then start to measure that and hold the clubs within the federation to account for delivering it. I think that's the only way we will make big change, because, yeah, I can't see it happening any other way. And I think Margot's point, and what we're all saying, women with a passion. Well, yes, okay, but the people with a passion is only ever going to be the 5 or 6%. And actually, lots of blokes do it, who don't have a passion. They do it because it's what their friends do. And their dad did, and his dad did. So we need to measure it, and we need to hold people to account if we want to make a difference.
Thank you.
Come up with a provision, come up with a draft, and come up with a provision, come up with a draft, make a general meeting, whatever. I'm going to support and even to fund it, no problem, as every club of Italy, and I will enact it. It's a promise.
Thank you. Excellent. Thank you very much. Anyone else want to say something at the moment? Something? Anybody in the public want to say something more? Okay. Thank you. Tell me.
I think I agree with the point. I mean, we are here. We are all amazing women. We have a lot of. You guys are amazing champions. Some have amazing credentials with like a lot of credentials. So the problem is not whether we can do it. The problem is how we take it one step further and goes the distance, you know, make it, how does we find a way to unite women in every nation or in micromanaging and then take it to the world level. But for me in Asia, I think the problem is in our organization in Asia, there's not much female. Even in Malaysia, there have never been a president, a female president of Air Club. Because even when I tried, I got voted out. I mean, there was resistance. I got voted, but there was resistance. So I think it's a culture mindset. But even FAI can say to the federation, I mean, like government, they require a percentage, like airline, they require a percentage of women in an organization. Not just the secretary part, but in a position to make a decision to change how we can improve the women's dynamic in airsport itself.
Thank you, Nadia. Well, in fact, me too. When I was a child and I said I wanted to be a pilot, somebody told me, "What's your second idea?" And I guess that's what happens to most women when they try to start a sports career, unfortunately. But I think we have a lot of energy here to work much more on the promotion of women in aviation and sharing your dreams. What you do, for example, the younger generation on the social media, I think is absolutely useful, necessary. People have dreams of their own, and we never know where they come from, but maybe watching a video or reading a post from a friend, or actually recognizing that somebody who is similar to me or to you can do something. It's inspiring for all of us. So thank you very much. I think it's time for conclusion. And Margot, our president, has presents for all our participants to the panel. It's 2 books, if I remember correctly, Margot. You want to take the microphone? Thank you. Ci sono gli omaggi del nostro club e di FLYDONNA alle partecipanti. Grazie, Margot.
Grazie a te, Aldo. Un piccolo omaggio, un libro su Adele e Giorgio. Adele che ha veramente ispirato tantissimo il volavela italiano, femminile e direi anche di più. E poi un libro che è stato fatto nel 50° del nostro Aeroclub e credo che questo sia un bel ricordo per voi da portare a casa. So it's 2 books. One is describing the history of Adele and Giorgio. They were 2 fantastic people, and Adele was not only a teacher, she was an excellent woman, and they created something really, really amazing, and you can see it really now. And the other book is a book of the history when we celebrated our 50th anniversary of the Aero Club, which is made mainly by pictures, so it is okay also for people, for foreign people. And I would also like to thank all the sponsors and all the institutions that are always with us in any of the events that we are promoting. Quindi desidero ancora una volta ringraziare le istituzioni e gli sponsor che ci permettono di fare questi eventi, che credo siano veramente importanti.
Grazie Margot. Mentre distribuisci gli omaggi, while you are sharing the books with our guests, I would like to say I'm very happy to see so many people here. I have heard we have some of you have a long tradition in aviation. For example, Donatella talked to me. We have Laura della Sierva. She's not here now. But the nephew of the inventor of the gyrocopter was here, for example, today. She's
Laura
somebody...
is around with the Magni family. She's a pronipote of a very important person for the history of autogyro. The inventor, the person that really make the first gyroplane, and she's bringing in Europe also the idea to keep alive this first autogyro and to do something. She's a very strong woman. She would like to promote and to bring this message around. But she will be on the evening, so I think she's going to fly now.
Thank you, Donatella. Thank you, Laura. And well, the program now is that...
Yeah.
What?
There is
we have to sign a flag.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please, all the ladies, and probably some
all the pilots, all the
ladies
all
pilots.
the women pilots.
Yeah, there is a flag. The flag will be just on another position, but with some pencil. Please put a sign. It's a long story. All the other flags, previous flags, are just there. It's a memory of what we did and the moment we stay together. Quindi per cortesia, lo ripeteremo anche domani, tutte le donne pilota, per cortesia, c'è una bandiera con dei pennarelli colorati da firmare. Vi chiedo cortesemente, prima di andare via, di firmarla. Sarà anche lì anche domani e lo ripeteremo.
C'è da firmare la bandiera.
Yeah.
All the women pilots must sign the flag. And then there's the Porsche car.
Vi chiederei un'altra cortesia, di non uscire da questa parte, ma di uscire dall'ingresso di là, di portarvi davanti. Un nostro sponsor Porsche, l'avrete visto, ha pittonato un Porsche Carrera di rosa e ci ha chiesto la cortesia di fare una firma di tutte noi sulla Porsche e di fare una foto assieme. So please don't exit this right, but go straight, sign the flag, and then we have a Porsche car, you have for sure seen it, which is pink, and the sponsor is waiting for us to sign the car and to have pictures all together.
Grazie di essere venuti così numerosi e adesso andiamo fuori per le foto di gruppo e per la cena. Grazie mille, buona serata.